to another video. Today we'll be doing some more ranked gameplay. We went with a Belle into the Lola and Colette. Generally, a Belle is a good pick. We get some crazy taps off to kill the Lola. Looks like Colette is on our base, but we don't need to worry about Colette much. We get some taps off on the Colt and do take him down while our Brock is also just destroying his lane as well. We're doing great, so we do some emotes. Brock goes for a bit of an early super and does go down here, but it is what it is. Carl looks to get a fire hook off, takes down some HP on the save. Looks like he gets the 50% off, which is huge, pretty big for us. Very nice. Carl looks like he's getting destroyed by the Lola. I try to help him out a bit, but that also results in me losing my lane. He takes that as an invitation to switch, and now we're pretty far down. Thankfully, we have our hypercharges. 2 hypercharges come in, we destroy their lanes. Got the slow off onto the Cult too with the traps, and we get some nice damage. Not quite enough to 25% it, but pretty close. We'll look for some bounces. The reason why Belle is played here a lot is because when you hit the save, your shots bounce to the defenders like that Lola. We get some crazy taps and a tag onto her as well. And we look to get a bit more damage off. The bounces actually take down the Lola. I bet she didn't know that about her ego, and we get a nice kill onto the save. Alright, let's head into the next. Guys, we're in the next game. Hopefully we can replicate what we did last game. Looks like the enemy team is mad at each other. We just exceptionally outplayed them quite a bit. We get a few nice taps onto the Cult. Carl tries helping my lane, but I also get lasered by the Cult. That's one thing. Cult, I prefer to play in the mid here, because since the lanes are narrow, it's a lot harder to dodge the shots. I'm whiffing quite a few, but the Carl gets a nice fire gadget to win the lane for me. Very solid, and I take down the Lola to win his lane. Mutually beneficial. Again, Cult should be going mid here. Honestly, I like playing Cult mid. We are pretty low, so we try to juke some shots and get one hit off, but don't quite manage much. He gets slowed. Brock goes for a shot break, but misses unfortunately. And looks like Colette takes down the Brock, and Carl goes down the 2v1 I think, but I come in to clean up. I move up a bit to set more traps, not really to do much damage, but to maintain control with the traps. We get some bounces onto the Cult. This is why it's nice, you know, they can't stand near the safe, or else a bounce goes off like that, and the Brock, you know, goes for a hypercharged super a bit too early again this time because the bounce got the 25%. But we're still doing good. Got the slow off on the top. Fortunately, no one was up to capitalize on that. Get a kill on the Colette, and it seems our Carl goes down. Thankfully, the shield pops off so the Cult doesn't shred our base, and Lola seems like she goes down here. We're up. We're getting some space. We're getting a bit of damage. We just get the 20-50% mark shield off and have some slows. Looks like Colette has hypercharge, takes down the Brock as well while she's at it. Carl hypercharge comes in, but it also allows for another super off the Colette while Cult is raining it down. And we just kind of had a bad start, missed a few too many shots. Let's head into the next one. Alright guys, here we are in the next one. We look for a little lane swap. Brock is best in mid against the Cult, but fortunately I have better start because now I have more room to juke. And do take out the Cult. Carl does go down and Colette gets some value off of it, but I stay up to lay down some nest eggs. Cult is very scared of me, he's staying back pretty far. I look for a bit of value on the save, get a few taps off, and we get a nice kill onto the Colette. We also trade with the Cult while our team is doing an incredible job. Colette walks into the fire. Honestly not sure what she's doing there, that was a bit of a troll. Brock gets a nice tap off, I completely destroy this Colette, and we get some nice value off on the save. We look for a super onto the Colette. We know she's looking for a super, but we don't have enough damage to really kill her. But we do leave her low enough with a mark so that our teammates can easily take her down. Colette or Colt triggers a nest egg, we get the kill, and our teammates are also raining it down and killing the enemy team very well. For some reason, our super didn't home around the wall. It is what it is, bit of a troll by our hypercharged super. And we get a nice knife onto the Colt. We're getting tons of value with our damage gear up. Lola's getting a bit of damage, but my team clears her up. And now we just have 9%. There's nothing they can do to stop us. The enemy team is thumbs downing each other. And we'll take the easy win. And let's head into the next game.
This is most unfortunate! Beautiful! This is most unfortunate! Not groovy.